The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from Los Angeles.
Hoo-ah! Here we go!
This is exciting, isn't it?
We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, good to be here. We're early.
Early for next week.
Yeah, you know, one of these days, it's my fault. I have a day job.
Yes.
Meant to come on at 5 Pacific time.
It's okay.
You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere, right here. Cheers to you at home.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for joining us yet again for another Death and Entertainment Tonight live. We are switching nights, so Wednesday is going to be our thing. The time going to be changing possibly.
Yeah, we're going to work this out.
We're trying to see what is best for our actual followers, our viewers. Is earlier better? Is later better? You let us know in the comments, and we'll be asking our Patreon members as well what works for them.
And what works for us, quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Not to make it about us. But
earnestly and frankly, and other first namelies. So welcome to another edition. We are going over some crazy news that has happened in the last week, starting with TikTok star accused in double murder.
Wait, but first.
What's first?
We have breaking news.
You can't do breaking news without our breaking news roll.
Ashton, I know we were missing something.
All right, so what happened? This was today?
Yes, Ali Abulaban was found guilty.
Ali Ababa.
Yeah, have some jail. Pick up a pail. The jury reached a verdict today in the case against Mr. Abulaban.
What did he do?
What he did was create a TikTok. Which is his first crime.
I see. This is the guy that impersonates Tony Montana.
Yes.
On TikTok.
Yeah, he and his wife, they were together. Anna Abulaban, so they were married. She
took the name.
Yes. He had this TikTok.
Be like, keep it.
Take it, please. Take my name, please. They had this TikTok together. They were making comedy sketches, whatever. It ended up being very popular. He was doing Tony Montana impersonations, and they were going over very well. I think they had amassed over 1 million followers, something like that. They're both doing drugs, but he is very much under the power of cocaine and, was just becoming more and more unreliable in the relationship and in the partnership in general. He gets kicked out of the house. They have a child together. He starts freaking out because he thinks that she's hooking up with a friend of his behind his back.
Okay.
So in order to catch her, he installed this app that you would be able to hack into his daughter's iPad at any time and be able to listen to the conversations that were going on in the house.
So these are those useful apps that parents use to make sure their kids aren't getting into trouble.
Yes.
And he was using it the wrong way.
He was using it to spy on his wife.
Yeah.
And heard his friend's voice in the background. And he was, I think, at a hotel by himself doing cocaine, was enraged to hear his wife and this other guy laughing together.
So they were in a hotel laughing?
No, he was in a hotel because he was kicked out. They were in his apartment.
Oh, got it.
So they had like a condo or something together. Yeah. He hears them, having a good time and loses his mind. And he's drinking, doing cocaine, and he's got a gun. And that's not a good combination.
No, it usually doesn't end too well.
Yeah. So he drives over to the place where they lived, goes up, kicks the door down, and just starts shooting both of them.
And what's so messed up is this narcissist probably has such a big ego that he thought he was Tony Montana in that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look how cool I am taking human lives.
Yeah. he had said that at
The world is mine.
he didn't deny killing them, which was the craziest thing. And when the jury reached their verdict today, he actually sat there like, I wonder if I'm going to be found not guilty. He admitted to it, but he said he was under the influence of drugs, so he shouldn't be held accountable.
Oh, that's like your get out of jail free card?
That age-old defense. The I was high on cocaine defense.
I wasn't driving bad, officer. I was just drunk.
I was in the bathroom doing cocaine and came out shooting. So yeah, that's the thing. He comes out and he admits that he lost his mind. He did the most cocaine he's ever done in his life, which he thinks this is the perfect defense. They ask him if he's the one that shot him. He said yes. He said, but I didn't feel like it was me doing it. I felt like a passenger in my own body, watching myself kill these people. Still guilty.
Yeah, that doesn't really work. It doesn't work that way.
Oops, I happen to have my gun.
Yeah. Oops, I did it again.
I shot you in the heart. So
that doesn't even work if you insult your friends.
Yeah.
Like they all remember that. You can't just say, "Oh, I was drunk."
Right. It's astounding to me that this trial actually was 18 days long. So, I mean, you're saying five days a week. That's almost a month.
Yeah, it should have been quick.
When he said, if I did it, okay, great. You're saying you did it. Bye-bye.
Yeah. It should have been like one of those quick Judge Judy cases, which is like, all right, that's it. You can leave the courtroom.
His defense attorney argued in opening statements on May 1st that he had been driven to the brink by his wife's rejection and that his judgment was clouded by his addiction to cocaine and mental health struggles. Prosecutors argued that the popular content creator who performed comedic impersonations of Al Pacino's Scarface character had carefully planned the killing in
Poor Scarface.
Yeah.
Weren't we talking about that the other day where a lot of oddballs consider it their favorite movie?
Oh, everybody I know that had a Scarface poster in their bedroom during high school is in jail now.
Yeah.
Or has been to jail.
Carlito's Way is my favorite De Palma.
Right. Anna had for years been a victim of her husband's possessive, controlling behavior and physical assaults, prosecutors said. So yeah, this is before leaving to stay at a local hotel. Ali secretly copied a key of their high-rise luxury apartment. The morning of the killings, he entered the unit while his wife was away and installed a microphone app on his daughter's iPad and hid it in the bedroom so he could eavesdrop remotely. Before leaving,
They have a kid.
Yes.
Okay. That's sad.
Before leaving, he ransacked the unit. A friend of Anna's testified that she planned to file a restraining order that day, but never got the chance.
Oh, my God.
At about 3 p.m., when he heard the live audio of his wife and Baron, which was his friend, talking and giggling, Ali drove to the building, rode an elevator to the 35th floor, burst into the apartment, and fired. His movements throughout the property were captured by a number of surveillance cameras. So, I mean, when I show you the video of him, it's a very quick thing, but he sits there and he's just like, oh, what's going to happen? And he's like breathing like, take it easy. They might find you not guilty. And then obviously they say guilty. And even his defense attorney like looks at him, but then she realizes like, oh shit, I have to pretend like this is a miscarriage of justice. So she starts like just nodding her head or shaking her head like this is ridiculous that he's going away for the thing that he admitted he did.
My God.
Robert Moore saying he sounds like a cheap shit version of OJ, except minus the dream team defense. Yeah.
Yeah. Minus the talent.
Yeah, I mean, they were both doing cocaine and very jealous and possessive. Double murder.
That's true.
Barron was shot 3 times in the head and neck, prosecutors said, at such a close range that the medical examiner found soot on his cheek.
Oh, my God.
Anna was shot in the middle of her forehead. Jesus. It is crazy. Rayburn Barron was his name, and he specifically thought that she was cheating on him with this guy. So the fact that he heard him just really. I mean, he might have been right. He might have not been. He might have just been a nice guy that's like, all right, you're dealing with this psycho. Let me make sure that you're taken care of, or, feel safe, or at least, aren't at the place by yourself worrying. So let's see what else we have here. He testified in his own defense, which is usually a death sentence. And, of course, it happened again.
Yeah.
He was found guilty after defending himself.
Doesn't work out too well, as we're going to get into in a little bit with Robert Durst.
Yeah, exactly. After the killings, Ali called 911 and then picked up his 5-year-old daughter from school. So he kills the two people and then goes and picks up his 5-year-old daughter.
5 years old.
Just before police pulled him over and arrested him, he testified, he told his daughter, "I hurt mommy."
The understatement of the century.
Yeah. They said the marriage was tumultuous from the start, marred by domestic violence. They met in Japan in 2014 when he was serving in the Air Force. He was discharged after he punched his wife in the face.
So this has been going on forever.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. He testified that it was a misunderstanding and said she had been injured in a fall. Yeah, she fell down. The door hit her. She walked into it. Still, the couple remained together. They moved to Virginia, then to San Diego, which is where all this happened. So this was in California court. He had amassed almost 1 million followers on social media, sought to gain a foothold in the entertainment industry. Like we said last week, he was talking about, last week I was just at the Comedy Store, and I was talking to producers and agents, and everyone thinks that when they go to the Comedy Store. There's 300 comedians at any time, open micers that are on the porch.
Yeah.
Not even going in the club, just happy to be sitting out front.
There's agents going, "Hey, have you seen this guy's 40-year-old impression?" Yeah. Everybody's talking about Scarface these days.
She fell on my fist.
I mean, come on.
Oh, God.
Get something going. Maybe do a Timothy Chalamet or something.
Yeah.
Something more relevant.
There was a live stream shown in court where Anna can be heard calling the police in the background. So this is well documented that they were just not good for each other. I mean, you can't even say not good for each other. He was a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
No,
saying not good for each other is putting it so lightly.
So was Barron trying to save her from him? Friend?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, he might have just been a good friend and wanted to make sure that she didn't have to worry about this kid fucking kicking in the door and trying to kill her.
They were laughing.
Yeah. The couple, they were caught in a harsh and heartbreaking cycle of arguments and fights where Anna would push him away, bring him back, claim they were over, threaten him, then suddenly re-engage him with affection and encouragement, is what his defense attorney said. That's very nice. I want you out of my life once and for all, she wrote to him. But that's what the prosecutor said. It was very clear. She wanted him out.
Yeah.
So he was found guilty. He's going to be sentenced on June 28th. But let's watch the video of him getting sentenced.
Was he entertaining the jury with his Al Pacino impressions?
Ooh. Cockroach.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous that he thinks.
He got up and he probably said this.
Hoo-ah, 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 hoo-ah,
That's what the judge said.
hoo-ah.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha, you're guilty.
The people of the state of California, plaintiff versus Ali Nasser Abulaban, defendant. Case number SCD 292181, verdict. We, the jury in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Ali Nasser Abulaban, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree of Rayburn Cardenas Barong, in violation of Penal Code Section 187, Parent A.
All right, so good.
And do we sound okay now that echo cancellation is on?
Now we start echoing.
That's what I'm wondering.
Ooh.
We'll get this one of these times.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything more on that?
Shannon! Welcome. We missed you. And thank you, Tyler, for letting us know. No echo. All right, perfect. Here we go. Game on. Oh, hey, Kaylina.
Hi.
Hey. All right, we got everybody now.
Great. Now we can start.
Let us get in to the next story.
Okay.
Okay, so things are better for other people than they are for Mr. Abulaban. Scottie Scheffler, the #1 golfer in the world. He was charged. Did you guys see this? You guys heard of this?
I did not.
He was driving in to a PGA tournament this past weekend, and there was someone, I don't know if it was a traffic cop, someone outside the tournament was killed by a vehicle.
Okay.
And so tensions were high out front. There was, police detail that were getting people into
what?
Into the what do you call it? The golf course there.
You're glitching.
They were just, getting people into the PGA tournament, and Scottie was arrested shortly after the person was killed because they said that he tried to run over a police officer. And
did he?
We'll see.
This sounds like the Karen Reed case a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Police will say whatever the fuck they want to get what they want. Video came out a few days after he was actually charged. So he was charged and released. He still played in the tournament that weekend. And it was just crazy to see the video when it finally came out. And the fact that Scottie did absolutely nothing wrong. Zero. I don't know what the police were thinking. I think they thought they could get away with, because of course none of the body cam was working. There's no
Which
body
is BS, because I watch body cam videos all day long.
Yeah, from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Yeah, they work in Fond du Lac.
Yeah, so why they're not gonna work in Kentucky? You kidding me? So the charges were just dropped. I'll read this from Yahoo Sports. All charges against top golfer Scottie Scheffler were dropped on Wednesday after a Kentucky prosecutor said the high-profile arrest amounted to a big misunderstanding. Let's be real. There was no misunderstanding. There was a police officer that was very stressed out and wanted to make a big arrest and didn't come out looking great.
So Scottie really didn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, he was trying to get in, and, they wouldn't let him in, or they told him to go the wrong way, and then all he had to do was the Scottie doesn't know defense. You know the song Scottie doesn't know? I don't think you do.
Alejandro doesn't know.
Scottie doesn't know.
So, yeah, this was just a mulligan for the police officer.
Yeah, if he was in Mass, the video would be missing and it'd still be in jail. Yeah, if it were up to the Canton police, that's what would be going on. Jefferson County Attorney Mike O'Connell told the court that the evidence against Scheffler doesn't even meet the lower standard of probable cause. Therefore, based upon the totality of evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler.
Mr. Sheffield.
Mr. Sheffield. Yeah, Fran Drescher got
There's a little impression for the kids.
The world's #1 ranked player was arrested May 17th outside of Valhalla Golf Club in Louisville during the PGA Championship. So this is a huge tournament.
Yeah.
He was accused of failing to follow orders from police who were investigating a fatal accident outside the club earlier that morning.
Oh, so they thought it was him.
The golfer allegedly dragged Detective Brian Gillis, who was trying to stop Scheffler's car at about 6 a.m., police said. Scheffler insisted he was following police directions on how to enter the club ahead of that day's second round action. So this was on Friday. They said his arrest was due to miscommunication. He's glad it's over, the golfer's defense attorney told reporters.
We're all glad.
The golfer has considered filing a civil lawsuit against Louisville authorities but said his client doesn't want that distraction. So he's saying, I would sue you motherfuckers, but it's not worth my time.
No.
Litigation is a distraction for everyone, his attorney said, and the truly historic season he's having right now, being involved in litigation would be a distraction.
Meanwhile, everyone is like, yeah, litigation is a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we watch trials all day long.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it on.
The golfer was led away in handcuffs and booked into custody on allegations of second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding signals from officers directing traffic, which is insane when you finally see the video.
Because he was following orders.
And going about 2 miles an hour.
And they said he was speeding?
Yes. Well, they said he was driving reckless.
Right. Okay, so,
not
going
speeding.
Slow can be dangerous.
Very dangerous. Going slow is actually more dangerous than going
Yeah.
fast in most of the cases, especially on the highway.
Not in L.A., though.
Mr. Scheffler's...
I saw an accident on the way here.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
A fender bender right in front of me, and that same thing happened to me. Someone ran into me a month ago.
Oh, another cop called Brian Shannon's talking about. That's right. You got to watch out for the Bryans.
But yeah, on the way here, just nearby, bam, right in front of me.
Jesus. I mean, that's
Glass almost flew on my windshield.
Oh, that bad?
Yeah,
Exploded?
something like they were okay.
Jeez.
Little shaken,
Yeah.
little stirred. So anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah.
This golfer, an injustice.
Absolute injustice.
So they thought they were nabbing another Tiger Woods.
Yeah. The prosecutor did note that he does not believe Detective Gillis did anything wrong, which is bullshit. Detective Gillis, not Shane Gillis, was concerned for
thinking that
was concerned for public safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler. Pretty much what this guy did is jump on Scottie's car and reach into the open window to try to turn off his car. Like he was that concerned about him going about 3 miles an hour. So far, there is no known video of any interaction between Scheffler and Gillis, with the Louisville police already conceding that the detective did not turn on his body camera in violation of agency policy.
That is very illegal.
So they said, prosecutors noted, Detective Gillis did not do anything wrong. Here we go.
Come on.
Louisville police conceded that the detective did not turn on his body-worn camera in violation of agency policy. So he's already done something wrong. And of course he didn't, because he was being a complete psychopath. The confrontation with police unfolded about an hour after a shuttle bus struck and killed Louisville resident John Mills, who was working for one of the vendors at the tournament. Scheffler that day was booked into custody a little before 7:30 a.m., but was released and still made his tee time about 2.5 hours later. He shot 5...
And it's not in the British sense of the word.
No.
He's not sitting down with chamomile.
No. He is teeing off. He shot 5 under, his second best day of his 4 in Louisville.
Wow.
On his way to an 8th place finish.
And he probably blew 5 under during the breathalyzer in the morning.
Oh, God, blow 5 under. Yikes! Scheffler, who was not in court on Wednesday, holds no ill will against Louisville and would happily play in the town again.
It's a wonderful town. City, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I went there this summer. It was,
so did I. You did?
Nice. Yeah.
When?
On my way to Delphi, Indiana.
Oh, you did stop there.
Yeah, the Red Sox minor league team was randomly playing across the street from my hotel, so I went to go see them.
Awesome.
And guaranteed a home run in my section, and there was just a few seats over to me that the guy I wanted to hit, Bobby Dahlbeck, hit a home run and almost killed a guy. Hit him right in the chest.
Oh, my God. Yeah, baseball is also very dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't think it because it's so slow moving. But yeah, that's a good city. I was there last summer to help out with this film shoot, and I got quite a tour.
Oh, so you're there after me. I think that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got quite a tour of these mansions.
Yeah.
The people that were hosting us had these... The family had multiple mansions, so like the mom lived in one and then they lived in another.
A billionaire's family.
Yeah, and you could just feel the history there, but I won't bore you.
Yeah.
They did live next to a golf course though.
That's probably the one.
Yeah, maybe that is.
Let's see. Yeah, let me try to find Scottie.
Scottie, what are you looking for?
The video.
Oh, they've released it?
Yeah, they said that there's no video, but there's absolutely video of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Police released new video. Yeah.
So how did they get video then if he didn't have his body cam on?
Because the security footage, and there were actual people there that were filming.
Okay.
Why are we getting ads? Oh.
They're asking if we're building our online business.
Yeah.
Yes, we are, actually.
Well, you know, trying. Let's get.
All right, so there was like a dash cam or something that caught this.
Yeah, and fans were filming stuff anyway.
Got it.
Says they're disciplining the detective for not putting on his body camera. So the prosecutor said he did nothing wrong, but the actual police force is saying that he is in trouble for doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another Caden.
Nice.
Oh, Caden James with a C?
Wow.
That's insane. Caden James.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well,
two Massachusetts Caden James. I mean, my son's never been to Massachusetts, but he's got nothing but full 100% Massachusetts blood.
Yeah.
It was
Lucky
me
guy.
and my lady are from Massachusetts.
Milady.
Milady. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How old's your nephew?
Probably, let me guess, 6.
We'll see.
All right, are we ready for the next story?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's do it. The Jinx.
Very, very scary.
The Jinx Part 2.
Yes, I lost the bet on Pinch Poke, You Owe Me a Coke. It is just Jinx, You Owe Me a Coke. I've come to accept it. Oh, wow, 12. Wow, so Caden has been around for a while. Thank you, Shannon, for the congratulations. Appreciate that. 12 years, Caden James. So I'm late to the game with the Caden James.
I guess so.
James was my dad's name, which is why, the middle name is James.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Jinx Part 2. Have we seen it? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, well, we've seen it.
I mean, we have, but I want to see what the people.
So what did you think of it, the finale?
Fantastic. Couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, so this show, it finally you get to see how they got Robert Durst.
Yes.
And every episode was so compelling, even though you know the ultimate outcome, which is that Robert Durst dies.
Yeah.
And that he was found guilty of murdering Susan Berman.
Right.
But then there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
Basically, they got some of his friends like Nick Chavin, who considered Susan Berman and Robert Durst his best friends. And he asked, what do you do when one best friend murders the other? So he was very divided about telling the truth to prosecutors, but ultimately he made the right decision and did.
Yeah.
And that was evidence against his friend Robert Durst.
The best was when he was just like, when people ask me if I killed Susan Berman, it's purely hypothetical. It's like, no, it's not. They are asking you if you killed Susan Berman. And they're like, did you kill Susan Berman? No. Would you lie about it if you did? Yes.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are we doing here? If you could click off the advertisement, you're controlling the...
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Like, once you say that, and oh my God, his friends who were like his lawyers, his hometown buddy, I forget his name, but his wife, oh God, She was incredible.
Yeah.
She seemed like she was having just a conflict of conscience. Like, she's like, I want to be able to answer your questions, but I'm under a lot of pressure. And she's crying. And they're like, well, we're told that Robert Durst told you he was in Los Angeles during the time Susan Berman was murdered. And she was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, he was. He stayed at the Beverly Hilton.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is the one thing that allowed him to be found guilty.
Absolutely.
And they were like, would you believe us if we told you that he's never once admitted that to anyone publicly or privately? And she's like, no, I didn't know that. So I don't know if that answer that she gave was to cover her own ass, to say like, oh my God, I had no idea what I was just saying, or if she truly didn't know and she thought she was just giving an answer that everybody else had already given.
Right.
It's very interesting to me because I think once she realized that nobody else had said that and that was the one piece of information that was used against him, she was like, oh, fuck.
Well, she was clearly disturbed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
I believe it was Emily Alton.
Okay, yeah.
The Altmans were his good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy, I believe it was Douglas.
Okay.
He kept mum. And they must have had a heated conversation, that couple, on the way home from the trial, because she spilled the beans.
He's getting asked everything about their relationship, things that Robert's told him, you know, their business dealings with him representing him as a lawyer. And literally like 3 questions in, that guy, Douglas, just goes, Judge, I have a trial next week. I need to get out of here. And she's like, okay, we'll get you out of here as soon as we can, but answer the questions.
Right.
It was such an odd trial. And the fact that Robert at one point goes up against Levin, who's the prosecutor, and he starts laughing.
John Lewin.
Lewin.
Yeah, John Lewin, by the way, amazing.
He was great.
This guy was on top of it.
Yes.
He was going to get a guilty verdict.
Yeah. He was pretty fun to watch.
And yeah, like you're about to describe, when Robert Durst finally takes the stand, it lasted somewhat like 9 days.
Yeah.
Of Lewin just grilling him.
They tell you, like we said earlier, never to go on the stand in your own defense. It never works.
No.
It almost never works. Never mind representing yourself. That is a whole new level of dumb. But even just taking the stand. And what's up, Tiff?
And he's like, what are your happy memories as a kid? Robert Durst goes, we used to play Uno
and play Frisbee as a family. They were my favorite memories. And the prosecutor goes, hey, what if I told you that Uno wasn't invented till 1971 and the Frisbee wasn't invented till 1949,
1957.
Or 1957.
When his mom, yeah, go ahead.
7 years after your mom died.
Yeah, exactly. That was amazing to watch that.
That was incredible. Because, like you said, we talked about this off camera, but when he said that his favorite memories of being a kid were playing Uno with his family, it immediately, I was like, I had no idea that Uno was invented in the 40s.
It just screams early 1970s when you think about it.
Yeah. I would do a reverse Uno on my mom after she jumped off the house.
Yeah, he claims he saw her, remember?
Yeah.
And we talked about where we sort of think he pushed her.
I think he really might have. I think he's that evil of a child, that evil of a person.
He's a bad seed.
Absolutely. That
the family hates him. That's the other thing from the Jinx Part 2 finale.
Yeah.
Just the level of animosity he had with his own siblings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet they just kind of, what it comes down to is most people, Robert Durst's friends and his family, they all knew he was bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they didn't know how to deal with him.
Right.
And they didn't really ever deal with him.
and they didn't ever make amends or reach out to Kathy Durst, his first wife, who he absolutely killed. And we don't know what happened to her and where she is. Yeah. They admitted the sister. I feel bad for Robert Durst's sister because she said, like, during a board meeting, she's like, we should be putting missing posters up and trying to find her.
Yeah.
And the rest of the family kind of shot that down, saying, like, let's not get involved.
Well, that angers me when I think about it. The fact that in 1982, they could have started this campaign.
Yeah.
And it really didn't start until the Jinx.
She was the only one that wanted to do anything. Everybody else just was like, let's forget about it, push it under the rug. Like,
yeah.
Let's just get rid of this guy.
Which can happen with family tragedies.
And it can happen with people who have money that don't want to part with it because they're too nervous that even giving her, let's say they gave her $1 million, her family $1 million, they're conceding that they did something wrong.
Right.
Or the family did something wrong. And
but they know.
I know.
But you're right. You were about to say they don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Durst thought because they have a big brand.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know how they continue with the Durst name after this guy.
They currently own One World Trade.
Shut up.
Yes.
Douglas Durst. Was his name Douglas?
Yes.
The brother?
The Durst organization owns the new World Trade Center. They have so much to lose. So the fact when they're trying to build this organization,
did they own the
even thinking
when did they acquire it? Did they own the World Trade Center?
No, because Larry Silverstein owned it, and I believe they got the new contract
after that stuff went down.
After the whole September of sometime in early 2000. I can't remember the year.
2001.
Oh,
you didn't even get the 11 part right. Or the third one, I should say.
Yeah.
No, but that's fascinating. They own One World Trade Center. Wow.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
It's crazy.
You can have a serial killer in the family. It's not a big deal.
Well, they did have a serial killer.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't hurt the brand, it sounds like.
Well, because they never talked about it and they never paid out.
And the
he definitely had the pursed lips, yeah.
Kathy's family said that they actually win in the end because they're happy as a family. They love each other. They have love.
I mean, money's good too.
Oh, come on, Kyle, don't be cynical.
Hey, money's good too.
Don't be cynical. They very much win.
I would rather money over love.
Really?
Nah, maybe not. Money and love.
Uh-huh. Kaylina, what do you think of that? You're listening.
Yeah, she's still here.
For the love of money.
For the love of the money.
Money.
Douglas. Lucky Larry. Yeah, Larry Silverstein. The guy who took out an insurance policy against the Twin Towers for terrorism.
Shut up.
Right before it happened. Yeah, he bought it for like hundreds of millions and then was able to cash out for billions.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Like those people during the pandemic that bought all the toilet paper.
Yeah. And Trump's just shooting it to Puerto Rico.
And then do we want to talk about Robert Durst's widow? Deborah Lee Sheraton.
Debbie Sheridan.
Charlatan.
Yeah, for real.
She won financially.
Well, no, because the court ordered that she can't touch the money yet.
Really?
Yes.
That's still going on, though?
Yeah, so they didn't talk about that in the Jinx, but that is a new development.
Because it was put in a trust.
Yes.
And in the final episode, we hear her say that, oh, well, the trust has nothing to do with Robert Durst.
Yeah.
She was basically a safe for him.
Oh, absolutely. She
was a safe with teeth and bad hair and cheap jewelry.
Tacky clothes.
Expensive jewelry that looks cheap.
Debbie, you're tacky.
She is. She's like the epitome of tacky.
She pretended to be his ride or die bitch this whole time. And then he's like, I want you to come to California for the trial. And she's like, I'm just not feeling up to it, Robert. And
she said her lawyer
totally blew him off, was like, my lawyer's there.
Alan Abramson, who we find out is some kind of mafia lawyer or something.
Boogeyman. They refused to say his name.
Remember that?
One guy's like, I don't want to say.
He looked so fucking stupid saying that.
I want to say the name.
And Andrew Jarecki's like, Come on, he's in the fucking documentary.
He literally says he's in the fucking movie.
And we got to see Andrew Jarecki get emotional in the finale.
Yeah.
Remember, he starts crying when Durst is found guilty.
Yeah.
It really was an emotional finale.
Very.
You know, and then at the end, just kind of going over what could have been done to get justice for Kathy sooner.
Yeah.
But that's really the bittersweet part.
I think the most interesting part is that, you know, over the course of the years, so many things had to go right for Robert to be able to get away with what he did. And in this last trial, only one thing needed to go wrong because he had already beaten all the charges all the time. There was no evidence of him staying in LA. It was only that one woman that fucking messed up and said, yeah, he told me he was in LA during the time she was murdered.
Oh, yeah, because
and then
you're right.
Boom.
Because that put him in LA during Susan Berman's murder.
Yeah.
And that's what led to him confessing that he did write the cadaver note.
Right.
And so that's why he had to take the stand, because he had to explain why did he write the note if he didn't kill her.
Right.
He said that he had plans to go to Disneyland and Catalina Island with Susan Berman over that holiday weekend in 2000. Meanwhile, this is crazy. I think a lot of people did this in the 90s and earlier, where they had these event planners, these daily planners, and they used to fill them out.
Yeah.
By hand.
She did it by the hour every day.
By the hour. And so it said quite clearly, call Bobby on one of the days when they were supposedly supposed to go to Disney.
Be together. Yeah. We planned a staycation. Oh, did you? Okay, what were you supposed to do? Go to Catalina.
Yeah, he showed up at her house wearing a goofy hat.
Yeah.
When he discovered the body.
Yeah, she's dead. He's like, oh, gosh. Oh,
he's got Mickey Mouse ears for her to wear. And he tragically drops into the. Yeah, they didn't. You didn't read that detail where they found the mouse ears by her body.
Oh, gosh. You got a hole in your head, Sharon.
I better inform the police
or Susan
and get my arse out of here. Yeah, his goose was cooked.
Yeah, he was done.
And then some people questioned the sanity of, or I should say, the sanality of his lawyer, Dick DeGuerin.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those old school lawyers who's
Matlock.
He's basically sleeping during the trial.
Yeah.
And he's getting paid $14 million to defend Robert Durst. And at one point, we see the clip. They play the moment where he gets up there and he says, well, Robert Durst is an honest man. He even admitted to chopping up and dismembering Kathy Durst. Morris Black.
Morris Black. Oh, I mean.
Freudian slip.
Whoa, wait. Why would I ever say that?
The sick part is his lawyer, Dick DeGuerin, probably did know that he killed her.
He absolutely knows.
Like we all know, but I mean, like he probably knew. Like he was told.
He told
Robert.
him.
Yeah. That's what's pretty disturbing. Like it's kind of funny, watch the old man, watch him pull a bite in court. But really, it's despicable.
There are some lawyers that
because he got him off in the the Morris Black case,
right,
20 years earlier.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain lawyers. I don't know what the percentage is, but some of them say that they do want to know. Like, tell me right now, did you do what you're accused of doing?
Well, they say that they ask the client that,
and because it's better to know how to build a defense off of whatever they did.
Richard Gere didn't care in Primal Fear until they got the verdict.
I was gonna say, I don't know if he actually put the hamsters up his ass, but but then there are people who just operate off the belief that they are definitely guilty and then just go with that.
Robert Durst is definitely guilty
of multiple
I've
things.
Never been more convinced.
Tiff is asking, do you think the lawyer tanked it on purpose because he was sick of Durst?
Could be. If that's the case, maybe that is a bit of a, what do you call that? Like when some of the OJ lawyers try to do something good after that trial.
Mm.
You think it's a bit of like making up for
the Innocence
sins?
Project?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's his innocence project, is
Yeah.
flubbing the Durst trial.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, the lawyer Dick DeGuerin made $12 million.
14, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's over 10 million.
It's the most money he's ever made in his life for anything.
Yeah.
And
he did a terrible job.
Didn't do a great job.
They say he shouldn't have allowed Robert Durst to take the stand.
Exactly. So everything he could have possibly done wrong, he pretty much did.
Because what we know about serial killers too, especially, well, they're all narcissists.
Yeah.
But they are themselves. They can only hide it for so long. So obviously Robert Durst is easily agitated.
Yes.
And he's going to act like himself on the stand.
Yeah, exactly.
He can only act for so long.
Which he did. And he went up there and the prosecutor's going after him. And Robert Durst is smiling at one point. And he's like, what's going on? Why are you smiling? And he goes, because it's funny.
I know, it's so creepy.
And
there's nothing funny going on.
Nothing. They're literally talking about people being murdered at his hands.
Yeah.
He's like, it's funny. I play Uno. Yeah, the jury wasn't having it. But Dick DeGuerin.
Could you imagine Robert Durst playing Uno at any age?
Uno.
No, wait a minute. That doesn't work. It's a green. You're cheating. Draw 4.
Dick DeGuerin. Okay, so he messes up on, and that's his closing remarks too, where he's saying like, and he chopped up and murdered Kathy Durst. I mean, Morris Black.
Your murder trial isn't going great when your lawyer during the closing remarks says, he's an honest guy. He admitted to killing that other guy.
Yeah, exactly. Except he made the mistake of saying he killed someone he didn't admit to killing.
Which further makes the jury think like, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
There's that whole wife business.
But even crazier on top of all that. So the defense team is there. It's probably 3 or 4 lawyers. And Robert Durst was not at his own sentencing because he was sick with COVID.
Right.
And they didn't even give him a phone call to let him know that he was convicted, found guilty, sentenced to life in prison without parole.
The 4 people on his dream team, none of them told him.
Yeah, his dream team literally just packed up their suitcases and walked right onto a plane and flew away and never talked to him again.
Right.
How insane is that? They're just like, okay, the job's done.
I mean, dream team is right. They were in REM sleep.
They were. They walked through that entire thing, made the most money they've ever made.
They were in La La Land during the trial, and I ain't talking about Los Angeles.
Yellow. Yeah, they were out to lunch.
Yeah.
And
they probably were annoyed when they had to go back to the trial during lunch.
Yeah.
They're trying to finish their Chipotle.
Yeah. I can't believe that they didn't even tell him. The only person that did tell him was Deborah Lee Sheridan's lawyer, Alan Abramson, who showed up and was like, I was the one that told him. And he was actually deposed, and they said, why would Debbie need a criminal defense lawyer? And he literally goes, I know the answer to that. And they're like, are you going to tell us? And he's like, no.
Right.
So she knows or was involved with a lot of what Robert Durst had going on.
Yeah. And in her deposition, you just find a lot of contradictions where they obviously were discussing the, potential to be sued by Kathy's family.
Yeah.
And just where to hide funds. They were out in the open about it in these prison phone calls.
Right.
And yet in the deposition, she's like, oh, no, we didn't discuss such things.
Yeah, we never discussed the cases.
And then he even accuses her in one of the phone calls of just using him for his money.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he accused her of not pouring any money into his defense because she wanted to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good on her to do that part, I guess. But
yeah, good. Yeah, she doesn't want to part with any of it.
No. Can't blame her for that.
Yes. Well,
yeah, the McCormicks. I forgot the name for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the brother. He was Yeah, just emotional. In the God, I'm losing my words here. In the premiere of the Jinx Part 2, we see them watching the finale of the Jinx Part 1, and then in the Jinx Part 2 finale, we see the McCormicks watching the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to see their real-time reactions to this stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I hope the McCormicks the best.
Yeah. Deborah Lee Sheridan's net worth is estimated to be around 1.3 billion.
Shut the French windows.
But this might be the same site that said I was worth 100 million. So
That's true. Grain of salt.
Yeah. But I know that the people who were fighting on behalf of the McCormicks are making the argument that the trust should not be held separately because Robert used some of that money to help her grow her business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she had this weird law firm where it was pumping up women, which is good.
Yeah, like Gloria Allred.
And that was in the 80s, her heyday. But I doubt she actually helped a lot of women. They said
she wanted to help herself.
They were scared of her.
Yeah.
She was terrifying.
Yeah, they said she was a monster.
And she got all these great real estate deals from obviously her husband.
Yeah.
That shocked me always because I forgot that part where, when he cut up Morris Black and he was living as a woman, it didn't occur to me that he was married to a second wife during that period.
Yeah.
He seemed like a loner, obviously.
Well, he was, and he wanted her to. Okay, so he was able to marry her to have her separate the money and it could go somewhere else. Yeah.
It was a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, and he had someone to confide in to tell them, what he did, and he did. And they even show that when she's being deposed, they ask her what Robert told her, and the lawyer says, that's spousal privilege. You don't have to answer those questions because you have the privilege of being someone's spouse. You don't have to actually say what someone told you if you're married to them. And, that's not like a hard and fast law that you have to follow. So the attorney for the other side goes, so you're going to listen to your lawyer and you're not going to answer the question? And she says, well, wouldn't you?
Right.
Which is a respectable answer, but still it's such a crazy thing that just because you get married and have some, pedophile go, all right, now you're married.
Right.
That now you can talk about murdering someone and you don't have to tell the courts or any lawyers about it when asked.
Right.
And don't even have to plead the fifth. You just say spousal privilege and that's it. That to me is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. That's why everyone is so fascinated with these court cases these days because it really is a nutty system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the different rules they have for certain situations is just, mind-blowing sometimes.
Yeah. And then we also have to say R.I.P. to Nick Chavin.
Oh, that's right.
Also known as Chinga.
Chinga.
He did this thing called country porn music.
Come on your pillow.
Right. Because there is a song that goes, tears on my pillow. And he changed it to come on my pillow. Just really dirty, I guess, porn music. I didn't know that was a genre.
Yeah.
For example, I thought porn music was music that was played during porns. Like it has to be in a porno film. But apparently he was making music that was considered porn aside from a film.
Uh-huh.
That was his music.
Yes.
And so Nick Chavin, he went into business after that. Got clean shaven for the most part compared to how it used to be.
Yeah.
He was like a long-haired, dirty hippie.
Yeah.
And then he's got this wife that she totally was not part of his old lifestyle.
Right.
And she does not like to discuss his old music. And so Nick Chavin takes the stand. He was the one that was the most tortured whether to tell on his best friend, Robert Durst. And he's the one who was also best friends with Susan Berman.
Yes.
So he was tortured, finally went on the stands, always said he never got emotional about these things. And then in the finale, we see that when he sees the verdict, I believe he was actually with Andrew Jarecki when they saw Robert Durst be found guilty.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm finally feeling something. Like he was finally feeling emotion and shed a tear.
Right.
And when he took the stand, Robert Durst was glaring at his old friend. And then afterwards on the phone, he's like, oh my God, Nick Chavin looked awful. I have to say that's the one thing he's right about. Because he did look pretty rough, because that can be taxing to have that much guilt in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
So he had this friend that was a serial killer.
Yeah.
And yet he loved him.
Right.
And so not surprisingly, I didn't even Google. I truly enjoyed the Jinx Part 2 without really revisiting anything besides what they're showing me.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to just really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And so it didn't surprise me when it said that Nick Chavin passed away shortly after filming. Because he was looking rough.
He was looking rough. But he was such a personality that you didn't think like he was going to meet his demise during this season. I mean, he seemed like he was in good shape.
Did he?
I mean,
come on,
more than Robert.
Maybe I'm comparing him to these days where he was the long-haired hippie singing country porn.
I'm comparing him to Robert Durst, who's like, somebody help me.
And for Robert Durst to call him,
Chavin's still like, I'm still listening to my music. I got my records going. His wife, they're like, do you let him listen to the music at home? And she's like, yeah, when I'm not here.
Right. It's just funny to see Robert Durst saying that he looks bad.
This guy looks like shit.
He's unhealthy.
Oh my God.
I'm also comparing it to those pictures they always show of Nick Chavin and Susan Berman and Robert Durst.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that up. That has to be like the weirdest photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's the ones they always show in these documentaries. They did a photo shoot in front of these trees.
Yeah.
Where she's like hugging him and looks like a little kid.
Right.
But I'm comparing him to that picture too. He looked like vibrant.
Right.
Kyle, come on. In the documentary, he looks half dead already.
I think you're being a little rough.
All right.
Being a little rough on the guy.
Then why was I not surprised when they announced he had passed away?
I think you read spoilers.
I didn't, I swear. I swear I didn't.
Poor guy. He was walking around fucking listening to his own music like, hey, have you heard Come On My Pillow?
That was his hit.
Yeah, of many.
Yeah. Greatest hits. I mean, it's a good idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Porn music. Okay, here I got the picture here. You tell me, okay? You tell me the difference. So here is the three. Look at these.
Three amigos.
Yeah, look at that. Best friends for life. BFFs.
Yep.
So one of them kills the other, and then the other is torn.
Nothing's right, I'm torn.
But what were they doing that day? Because they took multiple photos that day. Different variations. It was kind of like when Simon Monjack and Brittany Murphy's mom suddenly started doing photo shoots.
Yeah.
Like, what is with this?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to give you material here, Kyle.
I don't know.
Have we done a photo shoot like that?
We've never done a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to.
Exactly.
I'll hold my hands on your shoulders and hide behind you like Susan's doing to Robert.
All right. Okay, and then now look at this one.
Durst does look haunted in every picture.
Yeah. All right, and then there's Nick Chavin, as we saw in the documentary.
Yeah, he looks great.
Come on, Kyle.
He looks like he owns a strip club.
All
Come
right.
on down.
All right, I rest my case.
Come on down to see Candy.
All right, what else on the Jinx?
2-for-1 drinks. 2-for-1 Jinx.
What else on the Jinx?
Yeah, I think we covered it all. I think it's very weird that his own lawyers just took off without telling him he was even convicted. Not even a phone call, which is very odd. I think Deborah Lee's true intentions finally came out. He wanted her to come be with him, and she was like, nope, don't feel up to it. And then he was just like, well, it sounds like you're just done with me and you only want me for the money. And she's like, you know what? Take me out of the will then.
Yeah, she went from 0 to 100 really fast.
And he's like, no, I'll keep you in the way we planned it. And she goes, I think that's very smart.
Oh, yeah, and she forgave him really fast.
Yeah, of course she did. Yeah, I'm sure you think it's very smart to keep you in the will, you dumb fucking tacky bitch.
Oh, Kyle is activated.
Yeah, you're tacky, Debbie. You're tacky.
And Nick Chavin, you looked great always.
Yeah,
right?
Chavin, come on.
I take it back. You were a happening guy, R.I.P.
Exactly, definitely R.I.P.
And, of course, to Kathy McCormick and maybe not Susan Berman.
Yeah, Susan Berman got found out during this whole thing. She really, really did her best to cover for Robert Durst. Got in touch with a journalist who she was just throwing darts at the wall, trying to manufacture a story about why Kathy Durst was missing. She's like, she was my best friend. I loved her so much, but she did cocaine, and you know what? She owed a lot of people money. So that was just disgusting to listen to.
And she was recently missing. And she said the phrase, I'm saving my tears until it's official.
I'm saving my tears till we find out she's dead.
What kind of person says that about a personal friend who's currently missing?
Yeah, that was gross. I don't think Susan deserved to be murdered. I don't wish death on anybody, but that was very telling. And exactly, Tiff is saying the same thing I'm about to say. I lost respect for her.
You hang out with alligators, you might get eaten.
You might get bit. Yeah, that was very telling, very disturbing to listen to. I just can't ever see myself ever thinking that way about anyone. Never mind someone you're supposed to be very close with. I think she was doing everything she possibly could to stay in the good graces of Robert Durst and to keep the money coming in. I just, I can't even overstate how much I thought that was absolutely repulsive behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, do we want to say RIP to Susan Berman? I don't know. I'm torn. I think she's on the shit list.
I think you just did.
I think she's on the shit list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're going right to the shit list.
Oh, she's definitely on the shit list.
Who's all on the shit list from the Jinx?
Robert's definitely on the shit list. I think people took themselves off. I don't know. I think
Nick Chavin, surely not.
No, but surely yes, because he knew for the longest time and refused until later in life. He came to grips. I think what happens
until he had 2 feet in the grave.
I think what happens to some people is that they come to terms with the fact that they're actually going to die, and they freak the fuck out, and they go, "Oh my God, I've been harboring this secret for the longest. Let me make it right."
Yeah.
I think the only reason that people are that loyal are in the hopes that their life is going to get better. And when they realize that they're at the end and their life hasn't gotten better, and this person is a weight on them instead of anything else,
right?
They finally want to come out.
Well, when the money runs out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think Chavin is still sort of on the shit list, because he knew the whole fucking time.
Right.
It's very difficult to not lose respect for the people who knew.
And that's why he looked like the crypt keeper at the end.
Yeah. And you don't have to cover for someone every day to be complicit in what they've done. Your silence is complicit.
Yes. It's deafening, as they say.
Bum, bum, bum. Thank you for your silence. All they did was cover for this guy. Even not every day covering up his tracks, but the fact that they literally did not tell anyone or tried to make him be held accountable is the same thing. They just wanted to forget it, but they knew.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. Ron Popeil. Yeah, I think it's tough to not put them on the shit list.
More to come, I'm sure. We'll
Yeah,
be discussing this another time.
exactly.
But that's our thoughts for now.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Oops. Pow.
So we got to get into Diddy.
Well, okay.
Why? What did you think? The clip you shared with me.
Yeah.
I would like to share with our audience because I didn't know this happened.
All right, the next one will go
So
to the other one.
apparently, was it last Halloween?
Yes.
Diddy.
You're gonna have to play it.
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Okay.
Diddy dressed up as the Joker.
Yeah, last Halloween, Diddy dressed as a Joker and went out trying to fight people in the middle of the street. And one of them was an actor from, I believe, Power.
Yeah, Ferguson.
Yeah, Michael J. Ferguson.
No. Oh, yeah. For some reason, that sounded wrong. Like Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Ferguson.
Okay, Michael J. Ferguson. I just couldn't believe this.
Yeah, it actually. So before I knew anything about the Diddy stuff, I saw this and it actually made me like him again. Because he's just so unhinged that he went out without telling anyone who he was.
Yeah.
And I think he really thinks he is the Joker.
Yeah, it did add insight into Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah, Shannon, that video was crazy. And the fact that he paid $50,000 to the hotel to be able to get that video is even more disgusting.
Yeah.
How extensive is the shit list, Robert? I think it's got to be over 100 by now. Because we've done 126 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be, it might be over 200 at this point.
Okay, here it is. Oh my God.
Yeah, and this is him in every
Pussy, yeah. Well, you, nigga. Yeah, him. Just got. You're a clown. What's up, baby? Wait, what's up, baby? What's up? What's up? You don't like me? Then motherfucking get to it, nigga. You don't like me, you motherfucking front, get to it, bitch. Don't fucking play with me on Halloween. I'm out here with love, nigga. You wanna have love? It's what up then, nigga. What's up? Fucking come out here and I'll bust your shit. Nah, hey, keep it pimpin'. Pussy, make sure you don't never talk to me like that, nigga. I'm love, nigga. Tyler the Creator.
He sees Tyler the Creator in a rock.
I don't think that you heard me. You smell like Kim Kardashian. It's gonna be a glorious night when you go to the Tyler the Creator. Let's go.
He really thinks that he's
When I
cool.
speak to you, you'll
Really
speak
does.
back. Don't be rude.
Like, this is the party of the year for him.
So tonight, it's gonna be a special night. Everybody's so serious, but we're about to go to Club Love. Club Love! Yes, you can't buy the rest of you. You understand? You know the Joker don't play that, baby.
He is a clown.
And you had the perfect way to describe that. He's dressed as Heath Ledger, but he's doing Cesar Romero.
Absolutely.
He's doing like the high campy fucking.
Yeah. so you get the gist.
Yeah.
That was Diddy as the Joker.
Yeah.
And he really thinks he's the why so serious.
I really do think that he thinks he's that every day.
And yet it's the gay Cesar Romero from the Batman series. But was he trying to do Cesar Romero? Because the makeup is more like Heath Ledger.
Well, I think he was just being him, which is a little bit like that.
My God. Well, it's just because usually when you see Diddy, he is deadpan.
Yeah.
He's got it like a dead eye.
Yeah, exactly.
An evil stare, hardly any emotion, mumbles. So it's odd to see him as the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that tell us? No, it shows us what is going on in his head.
Yeah, exactly. Shows you a little bit of the psyche.
And for those that missed it from the other live stream, well, this they don't want us.
The video is disturbing.
Oh, really?
Just
Yeah,
released surveillance footage from
All right, well, we'll cut it
2016
out for
showing what
people to
appears to
see,
be
'cause
Diddy
there's
violently
people that said they
assaulting
haven't
then
seen this.
girlfriend Cassie.
He's literally just
In
throwing
the
Cassie
video
around and
obtained by
kicking her in the face.
CNN,
It's
Diddy,
awful.
seen in a
Yeah.
towel, strikes
God
Cassie,
awful.
and
And
after
this was in
dropping
the
to the ground,
lawsuit
she is
filed
kicked
against
twice
him,
from
and
behind.
he denies
Diddy
the
then
behavior,
attempts
and
to
yet
drag her away from
here
the
in the light
elevator
of
bank.
day, you can see him.
Later
doing
in the
exactly
footage, it
what she
appears
described.
Diddy
The
shoves
fact that
Cassie
this is
in the
blocked,
corner, then throws
YouTube
an
allowed
object in her
him to
direction.
block this footage is
So
absolutely
far,
insane.
he has not
Yeah.
commented.
They really did. I believe they took down our last stream because of it.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of other technical issues anyway.
Right.
So that's going to be considered our lost episode.
Yeah.
For those that saw it and have the link, it's
Congrats.
congratulations. It's a very rare piece of media.
It's now an Easter egg. It's lost media.
Yeah. So now we're going to go over a few things from that stream.
Okay.
So we're including this story, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then he apologized. Do we want to revisit any of that?
His apology?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's see what's going on. A lot of people weren't too happy with it.
No.
The white community didn't like it, and the black community didn't like it.
Yeah.
And what did the Filipinos think?
Any community.
What about the French?
The beef between Dai and YouTube does run deep. They keep screwing us, man.
Yeah, they do. We'll figure it out one of these years.
I honestly think it's because we have death in the name that they limit our reach.
So what do we do about that?
I don't know.
What do we do?
I do not know. Go and storm YouTube headquarters in Playa del Rey.
Is that where they are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Here's the apology for the hotel video. The infamous apology.
To reflect on.
Is it muted? Here we go.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Sounds like
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, I'm going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
But you didn't get great.
I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for forgiveness.
What are you asking for then?
I'm truly sorry.
Well, he'll take forgiveness if it comes up.
Time tells truth is what he posted 2 weeks ago. Before then, he posts, "Enough is enough. For the last couple weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs. And that was back when, this is December 6th, 2023. So that's when Cassie came out with the lawsuit against him. And he said he did nothing alleging what he did.
Yeah.
How
What a scumbag.
do you feel when the security footage that you bought off of a hotel that allowed you to buy it off it, which is fucking disgusting, actually gets leaked and it is shown exactly who you are and what you've been doing, and it's everything that she said it was? I don't believe he's sorry at all. If he truly was sorry, he wouldn't have done horrible things all this time afterwards. He's sorry he got caught. Exactly.
Yeah.
Looks like he's been hitting the bottle. Yes.
And if you'll recall, there was another bombshell.
Yeah.
He is finally addressing the Carl Winslow allegation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Conversation that kind of, there is a conversation that kind of came up with Carl Winslow.
I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Nice.
That was, of course, totally farcical.
Yes, but the allegations might not be farcical. He really might have had sex with Reginald VelJohnson. We don't know.
Right.
But it is out there.
Well, actually, while we're on that, the reason why I'm sort of piecing it all together here, I guess that was known in the industry or something. Like, look at this interview with Darius McCrary, who played, what was his name on Family Matters? The brother.
The brother, yeah.
He's just known as the brother.
The brother.
On Family Matters.
Yes.
So they're asking him about his co-star, Reginald VelJohnson. And here's what he had to say.
So, as an actor, you are an actor, but
I'm a performer.
Performer.
Yeah, I'm not an actor.
Okay.
I'm an activist.
Okay.
Actor.
Okay.
But I'm a performer.
He's not an actor. He's a performer. This guy is entertaining.
Yeah. Darius McCrary played Eddie Winslow.
Oh, that's, how did I forget that? Eddie. So he says he's not an actor. He's a performer. And all the comments on this video then had like 100 jokes saying like, oh, I don't drink water. I replenish.
Yeah. That's great.
All right. So let's keep going with this.
There is a conversation that kind of came up with Carl Winslow.
Yes.
Did that ever kind of come up while you were a child and acting? And this was a black man who some assume is gay in real life. Did that ever?
See, but this is the thing for me. I feel like why is it even a question? I mean, with any artist, what does their sexuality have to do with them entertaining you, them performing for you?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're trying to give them some.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he liked that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's my theory. After hearing that, so there's whispers in the industry. Diddy is well aware of that. And so then at this party where Carl Winslow owes him some money or whatever the deal was.
Yeah.
Based on those rumors, he's like, oh, yeah, you like it like that? You like it? Well, you're going to take it.
Ooh, boy.
And that's what happened. Do I have a point here?
You got a point. It's, yeah.
Okay.
I think Carl Winslow had a point, too.
Wow, he had
Up
a
his
point.
Pooper.
Okay. I thought you were taking the high road.
No, not at all.
Instead, you went
low road all day.
Yeah, you went real low.
Yeah.
You went below the waist there.
Hello.
So thoughts?
You know, I'm a performer. I'm not a podcaster. I'm a guy who speaks into microphones.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's very weird. I think, he's doing his best to cover for his friend and also try to dispel without really dispelling. It's not his business.
I'm not sitting in a chair. I'm just on something that's keeping me from falling to the ground.
Here we go. This is perfect for semantics class.
It is.
It's a very good lesson there. Yeah, I think Diddy. He's got it in him. He's got it in other people too.
You think he was dressed as the Joker when he did it?
Yes.
That was nightmare fuel, I have to say.
Absolutely.
I will give him props that is the scariest Joker I've seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm talking Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
This is going to hurt real bad. It's the worst one-liner.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Mark Hamill too. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think with that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of other stuff here. Melissa, what does that name mean to you, Kyle?
It means that we are talking about a clone.
What kind of clone?
CK. Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne was replaced. Avril Lavigne wasn't replaced, she was replenished by Melissa. And she was on Call Your Daddy podcast and talked about it.
Marie is ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is interesting because that's been a long rumor about her that she died in the 2000s and she's got this doppelganger replacement.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, we went over this in our Urban Legends episode. Do you think there's any validity to this?
Not until I saw the clip.
That changed your mind?
Yeah, because it was just very odd.
Yeah, it sort of changed my mind too, actually.
I saw Avril last year at the whatever Vegas When We Were Young festival, and she was fantastic.
Really?
So if it is Melissa, well done.
So Melissa is a good performer.
Fantastic performer. If that's actually her, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so here's
out there
Avril
about
Lavigne on Call Her Daddy podcast. And let's see what you think.
That I obviously have to ask about. And I always ask people when they come on my show, like, oh, what's the craziest rumor that you've ever heard about yourself? I guess I could just first ask you, like, what would you answer before I ask you?
Oh, yeah, that one. I know what you're talking about. I mean, it's just funny to me. Like on
Craziest rumor that she married Chad Kroger?
Yeah. That's insane.
Or was that true?
Like at one end, everyone's like, oh my God, you look the exact same. You haven't aged a day. But then other people are like, you know, there's a conspiracy theory that I'm not me.
To people that don't understand, just to give people context, there's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is no longer with us. And there is a woman named Melissa who took over. And you, I can't even say it seriously. You sitting across from me, you are Melissa. And there are like conspiracy theories that run so fucking deep. Like, does it annoy you?
She's laughing like Diddy as the Joker.
That's hilarious.
Like, does she have all this pent up?
Holy shit!
Like aggression when this is brought up, like from years of accusations.
That there will be people that comment on this episode being like, "That's Melissa."
I mean, I feel like you might believe that.
I'm honestly the one that started the conspiracy theory. I'm one of those freak bloggers that's like, I went undercover to interview Melissa. Like, oh my God! So you don't care? We're over it. Okay. So your name is Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
But
I knew you half believed it.
Uh-oh.
I'm not a clone.
Yeah, it was kind of a creepy laugh there.
I'm convinced now that's not Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. Or maybe Melissa tried and Avril is crazy enough that she actually killed Melissa.
Wait. So Avril survived the initial attack
from Melissa.
Let Melissa be her for 20 years.
No, she killed Melissa, and she's herself.
Oh, okay. Melissa is the teen punk prodigy, and Avril killed her.
Yeah.
But my mind is
no, it's Avril, and then
Whoa.
Melissa tried to take her over, and she's crazy enough. We saw her laugh where she actually killed Melissa, and there was never a replacement.
I want to see Melissa and P. Diddy as Joker get together.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Terror. Absolute terror.
He probably goes, "You're a clown." And then she's like,
yeah.
all right, well,
terrifying.
Well, that's all on that one.
Thank God. Because I'm scared. She definitely did not help her case in that.
No. Okay, and then do we want to revisit Courtney Cox?
Yeah, her wacky.
If you could open that one up.
Yeah.
So before the Courtney Cox interview, Matthew Perry, her co-star on Friends, was in the news for
dying.
Well, dying. Well, recently that they found a hell of a lot of ketamine in his system.
Yes.
And there's been talks, where did he get all the ketamine? Was he truly sober then? If he was high all the time from the ket?
Yeah.
You know.
And Courtney Cox seems like she might be on some ket.
Why?
She says Matthew Perry visits her a lot after his death. His spirit comes and talks to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does he say?
Could I be any more haunting?
All right, let me find this. All right.
Yeah, I think she is, death affects everybody differently.
It does.
But I don't know if constantly coming to talk to someone, he visits me a lot if we believe in that, she said. I talk to my mom, my dad, and Matthew. I feel like there are a lot of people that I think they guide us. So I don't know if she's actually hearing him talk or if she's just talking to him, but she says that he visits her.
Okay, we have the clip of her saying this now, so why don't we study this closely?
All right.
Instagram, you've reflected on Instagram about Matthew Perry, a member of your family.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out most in your life? What kind of impact did he have?
I think he's probably one of the funniest human beings in the world. A huge heart, obviously struggled. He visits me a lot, if we believe in that.
I know you're a spiritual person, which makes that statement very interesting. So you still feel his presence?
Oh yeah, I talk to my mom, my dad, Matthew. I feel like there are a lot of people that I think that guide us. I do sense. Yeah, I sense Matthew's around for sure.
Oh my God.
Could I be more scary? I mean, seriously, I'm giving myself the creeps.
Oh, man. I did not know that was coming.
You sort of did, but
for a second week in a row, I really...
You forgot? You've seen that.
I thought you were playing that from YouTube. I didn't know that you were playing that from your own.
Oh, so I got you again?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Except you didn't catch me on camera because it was full screen.
I know. Well, it was a conundrum because I wanted the audience to experience it.
Oh, Zach saying Courtney's new face scares me more than Matt hunting his friends.
Jesus Christ.
What about that jump scare, though?
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
My son's watching this stream. Jesus, he's probably crying right now.
Oh my God. That is not what I intended.
Jeez.
And then
what else does he have to say?
Do you really want to conjure the ghost of Matthew Perry?
Let's do a little spirit box.
All right. Let's see. Ghost of Matthew Perry, is there anything else you want to comment on that we discussed tonight?
I would also like to comment on the Diddy situation. It's disturbing, it smells foul, and it's too big to ignore. I'm, of course, referring to Carl Winslow's ass. Holy cow! Diddy shot through that thing like it was a Manhattan nightclub. Family matters, more like fecal matter. Am I right, folks? Could I be any luckier that I was on a different sitcom? You know, the one where I wasn't getting rammed by an East Coast rap mogul.
Jeez.
Sorry. You know me. I'm a funny guy. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Well, at least he sort of apologized at the end for being so outrageous.
Yeah.
My God.
That's quite the spirit box there.
Yes. He's really got a
Loud and clear.
You've heard of the soapbox. Well, he seems to be doing well in Afterlife.
Yeah.
Death becomes him.
Matt Man.
Matt Man.
Crushing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's only one thing to do from here.
Oh, yeah?
Story.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, what do we got, Kyle?
Matthew Perry might be doing well, but you know who's not doing well?
Who?
Mr. Dan Schneider.
Oh my! Well, what's the latest?
We talked about this a little last week, but it was all convoluted. So, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said when Dan Schneider had the nerve, the gall, the balls, the gumption to sue Quiet on Set, that it may bring an uprising of people who are more famous, that were bigger on the show, that will come out in defense of themselves and other people. And that is exactly what has happened. Lori Beth Denberg, one of the absolute best shining spots of the show for the first few years, original cast member, said that Dan Schneider preyed on her.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm not laughing at the story. I was laughing at some of the comments.
Oh, yeah?
Zach says, Courtney's new face scares me more than Matt haunting his friends.
Yes. Lori Death Benberg.
Our new co-host.
Yeah, Lori Death. That'd be a good character.
Mm-hmm.
Who does the what's that?
Oh, Vital Information.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's the next character,
Vital
Kyle.
Death Formation.
You might hear from Lori Death
Benberg
next live stream.
Who starred on the hit Nickelodeon show All That from the mid to late 90s, has accused Dan Schneider of showing her pornography when she was a teenager.
What is with these psychos and showing kids pornography? Or people in general? Remember the guy from Glee?
Mm-hmm.
He showed his girlfriend the CP
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, isn't this cool?" And she's like, No, it's not cool.
Yeah.
He called the FBI on him.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
She told Business Insider that he put her in countless uncomfortable situations. He lashed out at her on set, played porn for her on multiple occasions, and once initiated phone sex.
That I gotta hear.
With a child. Jesus.
No, I thought she was 18 at that point.
I don't think so. I do not think so.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Well, let's see.
I thought she was like later on when he was still harassing her.
All right, so you're pro Dan Schneider.
No, I'm not at all.
There's been a number of occasions
I'm not at
where
all
you've stuck up.
Oh, yeah, that I stuck up for Dan Schneider.
76, 86, 96. Okay, so yeah, she was okay. She was legal, all right?
Okay, thank you. So wouldn't you like to hear their phone sex now?
No, not at all.
Okay, fine.
I would rather
all right. From a journalistic perspective.
No.
Okay. It's the same thing with Carl Winslow and Diddy. It's from a journalistic perspective.
That's two
Trust me,
adults.
There's worse perspectives you can have on that story.
Yeah. Denberg and Schneider also played a video. She said that he played a video of a woman performing oral sex on a donkey.
I don't even know what to say to that.
He's fun.
Except hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
That's disgusting.
In a statement to
He's
Time,
the donkey of the day, if I'm going to steal that bit from what's his name?
Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, Charlemagne the God does donkey of the day.
Yes.
So I'm going to steal it just this one time and give it to Dan Schneider.
In In a statement emailed to Time, Schneider said the claims are, quote, wildly exaggerated and in most cases false.
In most.
That's very brave of him to say that. I don't think a lawyer would want him to say that.
That's the classic if I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
They all want to tell on themselves.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Spacey, remember when Anthony Rapp first came out talking about him?
Yeah.
And Kevin Spacey's like, oh my gosh, that sounded like really outrageous behavior. If I did anything close to that, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what? Wouldn't you say like, oh my God, that never happened? Of course not.
Wildly exaggerated and in most cases false. So there's some truth to what they're saying, although it's exaggerated and in most cases, not true.
Yeah, he's like, it wasn't a donkey, it was a goat.
It was me. You fuck.
And the phone sex, she wanted it.
Yeah. He said he takes ownership for not always making the right decisions. And when he was the head of the shows, he said there were times, particularly in the early years, that I made mistakes and exhibited poor judgment as a leader.
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
But then you're talking about if I did it. He said, if I did that with respect to Lori Beth, I sincerely apologize to her.
He really said that?
If I did that with respect to Lori, I sincerely apologize.
See, I didn't even read this article.
Yeah.
And he said the phrase, if I did it.
Yep.
All right, he's guilty.
Yeah.
No one says if I did it, if they didn't do it.
Castrate the man, send him to prison.
We're going to castration with him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anybody who's a child sex offender needs to be castrated and sent to jail.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. So he falls under that.
Yeah, we just need to really figure out what he all did, really. That's criminal, because he hasn't been charged with anything ever.
Yeah, I mean, she was 17 when she first started working with them, so that's underage.
17, right.
Yep. She says their relationship became sexual in nature when she was 19, 2 years working into all that. They had sleepovers at Schneider's house more than once. And while they were not sexually intimate during these sleepovers, Denberg said they would give each other massages and that Schneider frequently played porn on his computer.
Awful.
One of Denberg's high school friends corroborated the claim.
This stream is brought to you by IPA.
Yes. Denberg called her relationship with Schneider a weird, abusive friendship. There's right and wrong, and there's true and there's false. I mean, that's all true.
It is.
Doesn't necessarily say anything, but
more to come, I'm sure. But that's a huge, the wrong word. That's big news that she would come out against him.
Yeah,
because Kenan Thompson pretends that he never met Dan Schneider,
even
though Dan Schneider created Good Burger with him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, Dan, who? I wasn't around for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Good Lord. More to come.
Yeah. And then we do have this clip of Drake Bell for those that missed it.
Yeah.
So this is Drake Bell giving quite an anecdote about when he was being abused by Brian Peck.
Yeah.
And the poster he was forced to look at.
Paint a picture.
Do we have sound?
But just to paint a picture. Probably a bad choice of words with what I'm about to say.
Oh, come on.
But it's happening to you. As there's a painting hanging on the wall that was painted by John Wayne Gacy. He had letters in his bedside table. He was a pen pal with John Wayne Gacy.
You had him sign the painting, right? On the back?
It said, "From your good friend, John Wayne Gacy," on the back of this painting. And things are happening to me in a room where there's a painting by one of the most prolific serial killers who preyed on young boys staring at me. So now that puts into my mind, how far is this really going to go? How far can this go? What the fear that you're going through just because of, not only because of what's happening to you in the moment, but you're going, how far can this really go? What is really going on in this person's mind?
You know, I'm with him, but when he says things like, To paint. Sorry. To paint a picture.
Too much of a picture. I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about.
He's
a little tongue in cheek. He's like
he's on an episode of Mad Men in his head.
So proud of himself for coming up with that.
Sipping a whiskey, telling his stories. Like, sit down, get comfortable.
Yeah.
Obviously horrific what happened to him.
Yeah, but the fact that that's what he's focused on.
Well, he's focused on little tidbits now that'll get headlines.
Yeah.
So now we all knew about the Gacy painting. We've covered it. But now he's saying like, oh, I was forced to look at it while hanging out. Well, not hanging out.
Yeah.
Being abused by Brian Peck.
Yeah.
While he was pecking him.
Ugh.
He had to look at this poster.
Yeah.
But would it really be better if it was Cheap Trick live at the Greek on the wall?
Yeah. Exactly.
I say whatever poster you're looking at is going to be terrible because of what's happening to you. Let's not forget that he sort of became a predator later on, Drake Bell.
Yes.
And this is his get out of jail free card.
And speaking of getting out of jail, we have photos that surfaced of Brian Peck right after he was out of prison.
Shut up.
With Ryan Kelly.
Tiflis says she loves the outfit.
Yeah.
I agree. It's very retro.
This is what Brian Peck was doing on set.
No.
Right after he got out of prison.
Don't tell me that.
This is with Ryan Kelly.
What?
Who I think was like 15.
Are you
at the time? So he came out and literally had no qualms about being this creepy with a child after being a level 3 sex offender.
That is so disturbing. Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's after the trial. That is when the word is out.
Yeah. And he's like, quick, take these pictures of me.
He didn't lay low at all.
No.
He didn't even miss a meal.
Oh, so he was
that. He looks
maybe 18 or 19. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's better.
But this is 2005, 2006 after he was out of prison.
My God.
Yeah.
He looks like a beached pedophile whale.
Yep. Precisely. Just disgusting.
That is.
He has no qualms.
No.
About what he's done and, being caught or exposed ever again. It's just what a fucking loser that guy is.
Yeah.
I hope whoever sees him out walking the streets of Los Angeles beats the shit out of him.
Does he go to Ralph's?
Probably goes to a guy named Ralph's.
And while we're on this subject, we're all here. We're all friends here.
Mm-hmm.
We were watching clips on YouTube one night. You remember that?
You remember this?
And I told you that Brian Peck had a role in Man on the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered this because during our Norm Macdonald podcast episode, I wanted to watch the scene with Norm again.
Yeah.
Because Norm plays Michael Richards on Fridays. The sketch where Andy Kaufman ruined it, saying he couldn't play Stoned and basically said that the network sucks on live TV, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Norm Macdonald plays the guy that gets mad at him. Well, the announcer in this scene is none other than Mr. Brian Peck. And for our viewing pleasure tonight, I have that clip.
Oh, pleasure.
All right. For our viewing enjoyment.
For our viewing.
It's a real tickler.
Yeah, good.
In this sketch, two married couples are out to dinner. Everybody has secretly brought along a joint. And Carl was the last one to sneak to the bathroom to get a little high. And now he's coming back to the table.
Gee, restaurants are amazing, aren't they? It's incredible, isn't it? Everything okay, Carl?
I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Read the cue cards. I can't play Stoned. I feel stupid.
You feel stupid. What about us?
sorry.
You didn't have to do that.
Cut it out!
Another McDonald.
Yeah, that's his big scene.
Yep.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
And it's disgusting that he had to share his time on the silver screen with Brian Peck.
Yeah.
Doesn't that show you how many friends he had in the industry? Because the movie didn't do that great box office wise.
Yeah.
But it was a very hyped up movie. It was Jim Carrey, and everybody wanted a part in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It features so many cameos from Lorne Michaels to Jerry Lawler to
Courtney Love's in there.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of wild cameos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people playing themselves. David Letterman.
Yep.
And for Brian Peck to get in on the mix. And I'll even go further. This is how much research I do with magnifying glasses.
Whoa.
Right? In the opening, do you remember when Jim Carrey comes out as Andy Kaufman and says, "Go home. I don't want you to watch the movie because I don't like it." And then he sits there and then he plays a record.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending credits comes up because he's like, "The movie's over, so go home." Well, during the ending credits, you know, they're coming up like usual, like, oh, starring Danny DeVito and blah, blah, blah. Well, suddenly the record skips and then the credits freeze frame. They just freeze. And wouldn't you know it, during that freeze is where it says Brian Peck as the Fridays announcer.
Hey.
So not only did he get a cool cameo in this big movie,
Wow.
but he got his name frozen.
Wow.
During the opening credits.
Jeez.
Do I sound crazy right now?
No, that
Okay.
is horrific that he's able to get that much recognition.
Yeah.
My Lord.
That's like subliminal, right? People see the name Brian Peck frozen on the screen during the opening. Jesus.
Good Lord. Well, that's not very uplifting. But you know what is?
What is?
Because we got
Huh?
We're doing this week's. Week.
And we're reusing what we did from our Lost Media live stream.
Yes, if you're one of the few people last week, you will recognize this. AMC slaps Goodfellas with trigger warning for offensive content that includes cultural stereotypes.
Such as what? You call this a cultural stereotype? Gabagool.
Paisan.
Get over here. Get out of here.
New York Post says they're whacking a classic. AMC Networks added a trigger warning to the classic mob movie Goodfellas. And they said this film includes language and or cultural stereotypes that are inconsistent with today's standards of inclusion and tolerance and may offend some viewers. So the opening scene where someone's getting stabbed in the face, neck, and chest may not offend you, but not all Italians are gangsters, okay?
Yeah, some of them own pizzerias too.
Today's standards of inclusion and tolerance. What are we talking about? This is a mobster murder movie.
This reminds me of when I put on The Jazz Singer starring Neil Diamond on Amazon. And at the beginning it said, "Warning, this film contains blackface."
Well, at least that is...
Oh, that's okay.
Yes.
All right.
Warning about blackface is more than warning about fucking Italians.
You think I'm sitting there and suddenly I'm going to go like, "Whoa, whoa."
Well, some people might not know what they're watching.
Yeah, well,
if you turn on Goodfellas,
they'll find out, Kyle.
You should know.
All right. People they can handle it. They,
Yeah, exactly.
Movies are mysterious things.
Yeah. My God.
Okay, well, let's see what this is all about. So here's a scene from the edited version of Goodfellas with the new warning attached.
Yes.
And let's see if we're going to get offended by the edited version. And this, of course, is the famous "I'm funny how" scene.
Mm-hmm.
This film includes a language and or cultural stereotypes.
Here we go.
This film includes a language and/or cultural stereotypes that are inconsistent with today's standards of inclusion and tolerance and may offend some viewers.
So what are you going to tell us, tough guy? I said, my usual, zero, nothing. I tell you, Mick. He said, no, you're going to tell me something today, tough guy. I said, all right, I'll tell you something. Go feed your mother. Bing, pow, boom, bing. You saw the paper, Anthony. My hair was up like this today, Mick. So now I'm coming around, you know. I start to come out of it. Who do I see in front of me? This big Mick again. He says, oh, what do you want to tell me now, tough guy? I said, Mick, what are you doing here? I thought I'd tell you to go feed your mother. Pow, ping,
You're funny. Really funny. Really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to freaking amuse you. How the hell am I funny? What the hell is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the hell out of here, Tommy.
I almost had him. You stuttering fuck. Yeah.
I love the part where Leona's like, get the hell out of here, Tommy.
Get the hell out of here. Go feed your mother.
That's a testament to how great a scene this is.
Yeah.
That it's also brilliant when horribly edited for television.
Get the hell out of here.
It's so good. Like, it doesn't ruin the genius of the scene.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to see the original first.
Right.
And know that exists. But
Go
that,
feed your mother.
Once you see that, watch this.
Yeah, we didn't want that to offend you.
Yeah. Was anybody offended by that?
God, if you are, go feed your mother.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting word that the ghost of Matthew Perry wants to weigh in.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll take the bait.
Yeah.
It's hard to conjure him up sometimes.
Yeah, the spirit box is,
it's limited.
Finicky, yeah.
A warning on.
All right, let's see. All right, the stage is yours, my man.
I can't believe they put a warning on Goodfellas. That makes me so freaking mad. The executives at AMC should go feed their mothers. Ha ha. Just kidding.
Wow.
Wow. That was very specific.
He even had a bit planned.
Yeah, I guess so. That's good for him.
Well, there's not a lot to do in the afterlife.
That's true. You got nothing but times.
Once you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was this week's. of the week.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
We are going to figure everything out very soon, like a solid time that we're going to do this on Wednesdays.
Yeah, just plan on Wednesdays.
Yeah. You know, you can always catch us, on the flip side if you miss the live version.
Exactly.
But it's better if you're with us for the live.
Yes. And at the end of this week, we are coming out with the episode covering the death of Dimebag Darrell.
Perhaps sooner than the end of this week.
All right. This the end or sooner. And we have Ben Kissel on that as well. So it's going to be a great episode, a whopper of an episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Wednesdays.
Yeah, we're going to really... I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
No, but we're going to... we're going to figure this whole system out.
Yes, we're getting on a schedule. My son is getting on a routine.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. That's why I'm so flustered right now. I mean, Kyle's a dad.
Yeah, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're recording episodes. We're getting this out.
And we're new to this. We've only done 300 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is our 18th episode of the live.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for joining us again. We will be back next Wednesday. And yeah, check out that episode about Dimebag Darrell with Ben Kissel. And until then.
Matthew Perry says he wants to do the closing.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. I think he's trying to take my job.
Jeez.
He's not so subtle about it either.
Mm-hmm.
And have a great weekend. And please don't die.
Yeah. Don't go
It's-
dying on
Yeah,
us.
it's don't go dying on us, but I guess that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see you next Wednesday. We'll let you know the time.
Yes.
And it's gonna be another great show. And you're gonna be the great dead host that we've. I'm really
Come to know and
rambling.
love. Yeah, you are.
I'm
You're
rambling.
nervous. What's going on?
You know what it is? You know what it is? I don't want to end the show.
Oh, well, we gotta, because my son is pooping his diapers.
We're doing a good thing here. I know. I'm just
We
kidding.
are.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you.